I'm Spencer.
JD!
This is The Itch. We're here to review Metroid, Samus Returns. For the 3DS.
Otherwise known as Metroid second mission. Or one mission. Because the first one's zero mission.
Yeah.
So.
Metroid 2, it's a remake.
Whoop, whoop.
This is, if you've played any Metroidvania game, it's the
Metroid.
Metroid kind of it.
It's
got all of the familiar staples you've come to love of the side-scrolling Metroid series. So,
Avatar strength, exploration.
yep, long winding halls, and I can't stress enough, you can blow up part of the environment and it goes away. Wow! I got a question. Are we ever gonna get tired of that? Because a part of me got really tired of that in this game.
Really?
Yeah.
You could blow up the world?
Yeah, well, no, like, you know, there's a big hallway, and then somewhere on the roof, you can shoot it and it disappears. And you're like, wow! Isn't it grand?
Or you could get like, turkey in the wall. That was Castlevania.
Turkey on the wall?
Yeah, you break open a part of the wall and then it's like a turkey that's in there that you can eat for half.
Oh, yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, cool concept. It was really cool back in the day.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo is great. I mean, obviously NES. Did they have? I'm sure they had that NES as well, where you break wall stuff. I never played that version. But anyway,
Metroid.
no. What I meant, but did they have that where you can?
I believe they did.
I'm sure they did. But anyway, yeah. So this has all the staples of it. It's got a couple new elements as well. So I'm reading in the back here. I can describe them a little better. So scan pulse.
Ooh.
That almost tells me that people are kind of over the idea of it, because scan pulse, you use it in there and it shoots out this wave and it's like, oh yeah, that wall you can break right there, and that wall you can break right there. But you have to break it with certain things, so, you know, just like the other ones. A shot might kill this one, but a bomb might do this, or a rocket,
Right.
of which there are just so many rockets. I think all of them escalates as the game goes on, where it's like, they might as well just be another shot, because there's so many.
Golly.
There's lightning armor, which absorbs damage with an electrical barrier. So that's weird, because that one you use it and you become this like green thing that can absorb damage, but it only takes your mana or power or whatever, electricity. It only uses it if you're taking damage. So you could theoretically have it on the whole game, but it would only trigger if something was hurting you.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting one. Beam burst destroys enemies with rapid fire attacks. It's kind of like your thing becomes a machine gun and shoots, but it really eats up your mana, so you can't really use it a whole lot. I don't know what else to call it.
Energy.
Energy, yeah, there you go. And then phase drift, which is slow down time for everyone but yourself. That one is like almost never used. It's really weird.
It's used to get through a room where the doors close in super quick.
It's kind of like the dash.
Yeah.
You remember? It was Super Metroid, right?
The dash, yeah.
Super Metroid, where you run really fast and because things break if you stand on them.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing, but like opposite. It slows down everything, and you run through it, and then it falls behind you. But it's because you slowed down time, not run really fast.
That's the same thing.
It's really strange. This game is the best when you're fighting the bosses. Well, it's best when you're exploring, because that's kind of what Metroid is. But the highlights for me were the bosses. There's a couple of really good boss fights in it.
You fight Ridley?
Yeah, at the end. Good fight. That's a really fun fight. But there's this one boss that like follows you around for a while, and I really like that. And it's this huge robot, really intimidating and scary looking. And it, like, one of the boss fights, you're not really fighting it, it's just you're running from it. It's like plowing through the stuff, you just gotta keep running, jumping. And the game has a decent challenge to it, but I really liked his final boss fight, where you actually destroy the robot. Really, really cool fight, really memorable. in a lot of ways. But I heard somebody complain that the game was really hard, and I don't think this game is really that hard.
Oh, let me guess. It's the Dark Souls.
It's the Dark Souls of Metroidvania games.
God damn that shit.
It's not hard. I just think right now we're conditioned as gamers that we've played so many Telltale games that we think like, you want me to what? Like
Life is strange.
You want me to aim at that thing and shoot it? That's weird. Oh, weird thing about this one too is that it has a full range of motion. When you're aiming up and doing things.
Where you at?
You can now, if you pause, and I think it's hold R. It's been like a week or two since I played it, but you can actually have this full range of like shooting wherever you want, which is really cool.
Right.
You have the aiming better. Oh, and so there's one major addition to the combat that needs to be talked about because it's something I suck at. It's a timing-based parry.
Oh, it's the what's called that lets you do a quick time event.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So whenever you're fighting most enemies, they have a tell where they'll jump at you and there's like a little slash motion, which means you can parry them. When they come at you, you hit X and you go like bam and you knock them over, and then you get like 3 or 5 shots, like clean shots at their body, and then that usually kills most enemies. So if you master that parry, you'll get through it well, but it's not required. You don't actually have to be amazing at it. And some of the bosses also trigger it, but again, you can still beat them just by gunning them down. So you don't really need to master it, but it does make a lot of things easier if you master that parry.
Sounds like my kind of game.
The game is about 12 hours long for
Really?
one playthrough.
Damn.
So that was my first playthrough. Once you do that, you can unlock the hard difficulty, and then I guess it becomes the new Dark Souls of Metroidvania games. It was good. It's a good game. I think some of the concepts are a little bit tired. But otherwise, it was fun.
No, really. What about
Metroidvania?
Like, what's this? For those who haven't played Metroid 2, what's it about? What's the story?
Samus returns. Samus comes. Samus returns. Yeah. Samus comes back to a planet to finish off all the Metroids.
And then the baby Metroid helps you.
And there's a baby Metroid, and it helps you towards the end with
Take
things.
out the master or mother Metroid, whatever.
Yeah, the Metroid fights only happen at the very end of the game. They're a really cool mechanic too. I'm surprised that they didn't, because the freeze shot happens and then pretty much goes away completely for most of the game, and then it just slips back into the game at the end.
Hey, you're gonna need this.
Which is really nice.
Thanks.
I will say too, so Metroid's kind of famous for storytelling with graphics instead of dialogue. They're the very famous when you walk through that hallway and there's like the dead body that's being killed by, maggots. They're eaten by maggots. There's that scene that tells it, and it duplicates that a little bit. But I will say that I wish the environments were a little bit more fleshed out. It almost seems kind of cut and paste for this one. When you progress you have to unlock you have to kill these bugs that have like a energy thing to them, and then you go to this button, push it, put the energy into it, and then the acid just lowers, and you can progress further down through the path. And there's elevators, your standard getting around Metroid games. But I wish that the environments told more of a story, because they didn't at all.
Fuck them.
This is a bigger place than the last place. Keep going.
Wow, this place is green instead of red.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, I think it's good. $40, good price. It'll, especially if you want to go on hard difficulty, that'll be another adventure that I don't want to go down. But $40 was pretty good. 12 hours of gameplay. You could probably beat it faster than me if you're master that parry move.
Parry it up.
Beat it in like 11 hours, I'm sure.
Damn.
Oh, anyway, goodbye. I'm Spencer.
JD.
This is The Itch. Thanks for watching.